Your podcast, your business, your service is already great. Your vision, your ideas, your voice is all you need. But it's really important that you remain focused on this journey, and here's why. See, one thing I learned from my own journey is that everyone seems to be focused on the peak, the top. But no one really tends to focus on the process, and that's really where the magic happens. So whenever you track your journey from 6 months to 12 months or 2 years or 5 years, it's really important that you track every single step of the way and you document everything. I've started doing that recently, and I can tell you my results have been fantastic. Just thinking about where I was 18 months ago compared to where I'm at now is two completely different people. Today I'm breaking down what I learned, how it transformed my entrepreneurial path, and why focus is the ultimate cheat code to success. The first thing that changed for me, and that's when I realized the most progress, was how I structured my workday. Look, I used to go with the flow. I used to just go with how things were thrown at me and then deal with the consequences there and then. But now the focus has shifted to everything being accounted for. For instance, I have a calendar that I follow to the T. I don't compromise it for anybody. I don't change it around for anybody. It is there and it needs to be structured on a daily basis. Look, I want to wake up knowing exactly what I need to do for the next 2 to 3 days, and that's exactly how I live my life now. And on top of that, everything is documented. I use Notion and Todoist to track every single step of my journey. And the progress, once again, from when I first started this to where I'm at now is unbelievable. And this is the beautiful thing with documenting your entire journey. So this is why I think it's really important for you to now get into the habit of documenting your entire journey. Start today and see where you're at in the next 6 months. I guarantee you'll be gobsmacked. It's gotten to a stage in my life where I say no to absolutely almost everything. 9 out of 10 things that comes my way is a no. And at that point, if you can get to that stage, you're really starting to become successful. Warren Buffett talks about this a lot. The most successful people he knows are people that say no to almost everything. Because what that allows you to do, it allows you to harness in on your tunnel vision. And when you get to that point, there is nothing the competition can do in order to stop you. So this is why it's really important that you make sure that you transform this behavior within the space of 6 months. There are some negatives that comes along with this. People are going to unfriend you. People are going to say that you're not such a nice guy. But guess what? Who cares as long as you are making money and you're achieving your goals? Speaking of focus, let's talk about an absolute game changer for entrepreneurs and content creators, and that is Wondershare Filmora. So I want to talk about this particular point from a podcaster point of view. So look, if you've got a podcast at the moment but you haven't got video, think about adding video to your podcast. It makes a huge difference, and here's why. Number one, it amplifies your entire podcast, and adding YouTube to your arsenal is going to be a massive game changer. That's not just going to expand your reach, but it's actually going to increase your revenue as well. And who doesn't like making more money? Think about it this way. YouTube is a search engine. It's the most searched platform after Google. So it absolutely is imperative, if you have a podcast and you have an important message that needs to be heard in the real world, for you to be on YouTube. I would even go further to say that being on YouTube is more important than being on Spotify podcast or Apple Podcast. Trust me when I say this. And this is simply because YouTube is a search engine, not just a video sharing platform. Here are some of the benefits you get from being on YouTube. You can expand your reach. The second point is increase engagement. Look, captions, visuals, and animations help your audience not only enjoy whatever you're putting out, but it allows them to connect emotionally as well with whatever you're talking about. Thirdly, boost monetization, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. Thanks to YouTube ads, sponsorships, and brand deals, these offers tend to get a lot bigger when you are on YouTube. So mentioning all the benefits of adding yourself to YouTube and how it can drastically change your podcast or whatever you got going on, here comes the big challenge, and this is where Wondershare Filmora comes in really handy. Editing is really complex if you've never done editing before. Look, I know how to edit, and it took me a long time to get to the point where I actually know how to edit. I do now have editors who edit my content for me, right? But every now and then I'm forced to step in to edit, depending on the workload. And I can tell you for free, it's really complex and it's really long if you don't know what you're doing. So the easier thing to do is to use a software that makes this entire process a breeze, because the reality is that you can't actually put out a video without editing. A lot of people that have never actually put out content thinks that you just shoot a video and you just put it out. Look, for a podcast episode that has around 45 minutes worth of play, if I can call it that, you probably have around 2 hours worth of footage, which means that majority of the footage actually gets cut away from the video in order to make sure that it's actually the most engaging content for the viewers. So this is again why editing is so important and why you must get a hang of it if you have a podcast in particular. And here's where Filmora Wondershare really shines a light on the industry. And again, the reason why I use them. Look, you can simply drag and drop your audio. Filmora's AI instantly generates visuals that match your podcast tone. Intelligent editing equals smooth transitions, subtitles, and animations done for you. On top of that, you've got customizable styles. So that means that if you have a fitness brand or a personal finance brand, you can have two completely different styles, and Filmora will actually figure it out for you by using its intelligent AI. Thirdly, something that is really important to ensure that you have in 2025 is short form content. Look, Filmora can actually extrapolate the most important moments from your podcast automatically and put it into nice reels that will go viral, whether that's on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or Instagram. And it does that for you in less than 10 minutes. So here's the deal. No more static images, no more boring waveforms. Look, Filmora will transform whatever audio you have into engaging video content straight away. So if you're ready to take your content to that next level and you're ready to try Filmora today, check out the top link in my description to get started with it today. And I guarantee you, you won't be disappointed. And the beautiful thing is after 6 months of consistent dedication to your vision, you start to realize that your vision is the only thing that really matters. And you don't need other people's validation in order to continue with that. You almost find a way to get rid of the shackles that society has had on you for such a long time, and probably the reason why you've been held back all this time. And it's at that point you become fully results driven and you realize that results are the only thing that matters, not how you get there or complaining about certain situations along the way, because the world doesn't give a damn about your problem. That's just the reality of it. No one cares about your problems but you. So the most important thing you can do for yourself in order to make sure that you get the most out of your life is making sure you stick to your tunnel vision, making sure you execute on it so that you can have a better life, more fulfilling, more money, more free time for you to do whatever you want and spend time with your loved ones. So just to round this video up, 6 months of intense focus changed my life completely. It gave me a set of skills that are going to be with me for the rest of my life. It gave me a new mindset that made me a lion and not a gazelle. As I round this video up once again, I want to say thank you for tuning in, and I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. If you did, you know exactly what you need to do. Smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and more importantly, tap the notification bell. But I am going to round this video out now, and I will see you on the next video. And of course, if you're serious about turning your audio into video, you know exactly what you need to do. Check out Wondershare Filmora today so you can get started and you can start making some good money and some great content. But anyways, I am out for now, and I will say bye bye and I'll see you soon.